Let's start our story with an old Bartholomew Co map from the 1930s. Look closely at the thick orange and yellow boundaries. The orange marks the cantonment area, while the yellow outlines the civilian parts of the city. But here's the most striking detail: the sheer number of lakes. Back in the 1930s, these green patches represent over 70 lakes spread across an area of 150 square kilometers. That's right, more than 70 freshwater lakes covering 10.5 square kilometers, an impressive 7% of the city's entire area. Imagine a city that once had an extensive network of water bodies, all carefully planned by nature. These lakes weren't just scenic spots, they were nature's water management system. They acted as natural sinks, storing rainwater and preventing floods. But what happens when these lakes disappear? The runoff water has nowhere to go. And, as we all know too well, when the lakes vanish, floods become inevitable. Back in 1961, Bengaluru had nearly 261 lakes. But urbanization has taken its toll. Fast forward to 2025. Bengaluru is home to 210 lakes, covering a total of 3,622 acres. Today, only about 85 lakes are still managed by the BBMP, Brihat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palikai, with many others under the jurisdiction of the BDA. And even those that remain, a significant portion is encroached upon by buildings and other developments. Take the Kempegowda Majestic Bus Stand, for example. It was built on what was once Dharmambadhi Lake. And it's not just majestic, many other structures, from stadiums to residential layouts, have sprung up on these dried up lake beds. Let's look at a few examples. Shule Lake became a football stadium, Akkithamanhalli Lake became home to a hockey stadium, and Dharmambadhi Lake? Well, that's where you find the majestic bus stand. Even more lakes, like Koramangala Lake and Domlur Lake, have made way for residential layouts. What were once vital water bodies are now crowded neighborhoods, roads, and commercial spaces. The old map is a far cry from the concrete jungle we live in now. Over the past 50 years, the lakes have disappeared, taking with them the city's natural water management system. Today, the area that once had over 8 square kilometers of lakes now only holds about 2.25 square kilometers. That's a huge chunk of land, once waterbeds, turned into buildings, roads, and developments. And it's not just the lakes that have vanished. Banlor's canals, or Raja Kaluways, which once connected lakes and allowed water to flow seamlessly through the city, are now buried beneath roads and buildings. Without water flowing through these canals, the lakes dry up and are eventually converted into massive structures. Take Malleshwaram and Hebbal, for example. The old map shows natural channels that once connected to Sankey's reservoir. These channels were vital to the city's water system. Today, those same channels are buried under concrete and have been completely lost to urbanization. Elevation also played a crucial role in how water flowed through the city. In areas like C.V. Raman Road and Sankey Tank, the elevation is higher, while places like Bellandur Lake sit at much lower altitudes. These natural elevations helped manage water flow, but now, with the lakes gone, the runoff simply has nowhere to go. And that's why we see flooding in these lower-lying areas. Take Domlur, for example. It used to be a lake, but today it's a low-lying area prone to flooding. If you live around areas like Vivekananda Nagar or Rajendra Nagar, you know how even a small downpour can cause serious flooding. And unfortunately, things are only going to get worse. The Brihad Bengaluru Mahanagarapalikai (BBMP) has reported that 303 acres of land across 210 lakes in the city have been encroached upon, out of a total of 3,622 acres. So far, the authorities have successfully reclaimed only 46 acres. Over the past 8 years, several lake rejuvenation projects have been underway in the city. While some lakes have been desilted, there has been little improvement, and many still look the same. Experts say that even with desilting, the lakes can't be fully restored to their original state. There's no way to reverse the damage done, but we can still manage what remains. It's crucial that we stop any further construction on these vital natural sinks and watersheds. Future developments must be planned with proper studies to protect these areas and ensure that water flows freely where it once did. Bangalore transformation tells a story of rapid growth, but at what cost? A city once known for its lakes is now struggling with floods, congestion, and disappearing natural resources. It's time for a change in how we grow. We must stop sacrificing nature for progress. Bangalore's population is growing at an alarming rate, and the Kaveri water supply barely meets 50% of the city's needs. The rest of the population depends on groundwater and private tankers, both of which are often contaminated. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is the future of Bangalore? Let's start a conversation. I'll see you in the next one.